welcome back to the channel, and we have some important topics, so sipping that today, so stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Sipping on That. Sipping on That. And I am your co-host today, Nicole. And I would like to talk to you, everyone, about early voting. Early voting is one of the most important things that we have to do in America right now. So please don't let that pass you by. Or you can go on November 3rd and do your vote. But please vote. This is important to every one of us. This is our future. And we have to take a stand on it. I will not tell you who to vote for, but, you know, let's just make our purpose, just like we protest, let's go out and march to the voting polls. Yes, let's go out and march to the voting polls. And how is everyone week? I would like to get started by saying you can go to my email at trailblack9@gmail.com. You can also go to my Facebook page at Trail in Black. And you can go to my YouTube page, Sipping That with Nicole. Yes, Sipping on That. Sipping on That with Nicole. I apologize for the first mix-up. Sipping on That with Nicole. And you can put your questions down below. Put your questions down below. And without further ado, we're going to get into the sipping on that. Sipping on that. Okay. How do you heal and move on from past trauma? How do you heal and move on from past trauma? That is a very good question, because people have trauma in their life from when they was a child. I can relate to some of the stories, and I can also give a little of my background story on a trauma. When I was in middle school, we got into a bad car accident, and I stayed in Louisiana at the time, and the bridges in Louisiana were, well, it's surrounded by water, put it that way. And wherever you was for at least 19 miles, it was nothing but water. No land, nothing underneath us but water. And when we got into the accident, the truck, it was a Suburban, it killed it over. And then once the car that came from behind us, because I believe the tire had popped, and when the tire had popped, it shifted us to another car. And when we hit that car, it hit the guardrail, and it hit the guardrail so hard where it went up and came back and hit us again and spun us around a couple of times. Well, we was hitting the guardrail, and then the car behind us pushed us and front some more. So it was like a 3-4 car wreck. And I can say I was like in middle school, and that trauma from that haunted me for a long time. But I did know when I became an adult that I still wanted to drive. I still had to get in the car. I could not be afraid to get in a car again, because that is our means of transportation, a car. So I prayed on it for years. I prayed on it, gave it to God, you know. And when I found, for the people who are praying people, Jesus in my life, and I found out that he was always there with me. And, you know, don't be afraid that our trials and tribulations are here for us as a testimony to tell somebody else. I kind of learned how to get over the past trauma through believing in God and Jesus Christ. And knowing that it was something that happened that particular day, that particular time, and that is not going to happen every day. So I don't look at that like it was going to happen every day that I got into a car wreck. And then, as time went on, I wound up having kids, and I had to be strong for them and show them a strong person than me. Like, you know, you're gonna go through something going to take effect, but don't let that hinder you. Don't let that keep you from moving on. And have a strong support group. Have somewhere where you might can go to a therapist, or church group, or family members that or elderly family members that could encourage you to move on from the past traumas. Because one thing about your past is gone. You don't want to hinder your future or your present tense or your future because of something that happened in your past. You cannot go back and change it. What happened, happened. And I see sometimes that a lot of people live in the past. I'm only saying this because I seen some people who got into arguments or fights years ago, and they got into it and trauma in their life, and somebody did this and this happened, and the family members never talked again, and years been past, and people pass on and go to dying, and then the people never talk to the people again. Forgive, forget. I'm not going to say forget. I'm sorry about saying forget. I'm going to say forgive. And what happened in your past, it might have hurt you at that time. It might have hurt you on that day. It might have hurt you in that moment. But right now is your present, and right now is your future. And don't let nothing turn you back to what happened back then that was a trauma. Yeah, everybody went through something. It might not be the same scenario, but we all are sinners and fall short from the glory, and we all went through something. Don't let that stop you from being the person who God called you to be today. I'm only saying God because I am a praying person, and I'm not going to let nobody not let me share my faith. Because God said we are king and we are priests, and we have the authority on earth. He gave it to us. He ain't just come back and died. He died one time. Jesus died one time on the cross for our sins, or our whatever we went through. And we have to learn how to heal our hearts, because God is love. So we have to learn how to heal our heart and move forward. You don't want to bring the hurt. Maybe you have kids or family members around you. You got to learn how to not bring that stress to you and move on. I see some people sometimes, they write it down, they throw it in the ocean. I also seen some people, they write it down and put it in the fire. Cut it off at the neck. I'm sorry, capacitated. Well, you know when they cut it off at the neck. Anyway, when you cut it off at your neck, it dies. It's dead. When you cut it off from there, nothing coming back. It's not like a lizard gonna keep living on and on and on and jump around. It's gone. It's dead. It's in the past. Why not leave it there? Don't let it keep hurting you. Don't let it keep taking your heart. Don't let it keep taking your mind constantly every day. Leave it back there and move on. And that is my episode today of Sipping on That. Sipping on That. I hope my opinion helped someone today. And remember, it's just my opinion. It's not no true facts. If you have something else that you would like to add to it, leave them comments down below. Ask me the question. Send me an inbox. And guess what? I went and voted today. Yeah, I went and voted today. I am excited because I got it out the way. And like I said before, our vote is important. Please don't let this election pass us by. Oh, I don't like that one, and I don't like that character, and I don't like that character. It's not about which one we like. It's about our future in this world and our kids' that we're fighting for. And I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Sipping on That. Sipping on That. Bye-bye.